So part of me really doesn't like this game, and I'm not sure why. But I'm also not sure why I keep playing this game. Now, I know it's been a minute since it's came out, but we've been over my time constraints as of late, so you guys understand. But this is my thoughts on Metal Slug Tactics. I hate to call this a review. It's not really even an impressions because I played far more than that, but it's just sort of my, I don't know, say half review, half thoughts type thing. All right. But before we get into that, please hit that like and subscribe button. Help me grow this channel, guys. I know I'm not there as much as I need to be, but I will. I will be very soon. I promise. We are almost done moving, and God, it sucks. Because it's just me, by the way, and that sucks. Because I'm weak. Like, I assume that Taylor Swift could probably bench press more than I do. So that's just where we're at while I'm moving heavy crap. Anyway, let's get into Metal Gear Slug Tactics. So, and let me start off with the story and just say that it's kind of the same thing. I don't understand every aspect of the game, and part of it is because I don't really know the series. So if there is background stuff that is attached to it, I don't really know. If I'm honest, the running gun style of game that this was a Metal Gear Slug has always been, it just never really appealed to me. So that's why I was really excited for the tactics version of the game, and needless to say, it sort of follows the same story, which is essentially you're good guys and you're trying to kill the rebel army. That's basically it. Like they have other aspects of the story, like I said, that come in and out, but it's, I don't know. It's essentially that in itself, and it's not too complicated, but it is actually kind of fun. And one of the reasons why I find the story itself kind of fun is because it doesn't take itself too seriously, is very arcadey, and so then when they have like some really big bosses show up and just some craziness attached with that, it doesn't seem out of place. It seems to fit well. Now, as a tactics game, though, I don't know. I don't know if I like it or if I don't like it. I do think that it does deserve a home in the tactics genre, but it's definitely something I'm not used to. And I think that that's the big thing. One of the things that I'm used to with tactics games, and I love tactics games, everything from Valkyria Chronicles to Triangle Strategy, Fire Emblem, of course Final Fantasy Tactics, like all of those games I just absolutely love. The slower, the more grindy, the more strategy based, the better. But this is not what this is, and that's why I'm not used to it. You see, I didn't really read a lot of the tutorial that was given at the beginning of the game, and one of the main reasons why, though, and this is definitely a negative in my opinion, on the Nintendo Switch anyway, it is kind of hard to see. It's really small. And so you really have to focus on it. And I just figured, oh, I know what I'm doing. It's a tactics game. And proceeded to get my butt kicked over and over. Because, see, there again, when it comes to a traditional tactics game, you're looking to move like a turtle. And essentially, you want to set up the battlefield. You want to see what would be the best movement for your team or, let's see, a duo, whatever. But for this, you actually want to move as far as you can, as much as you can. When you do that, there's like an agility buff that's applied to you. In a way, they don't actually call it a bluff or give you the buff, but regardless, like most enemies can only do like one hit of damage on you if you move as far as you can. And that was one of the things that I wasn't doing because I was in cover and I figured, well, I got the defense of the cover to help me, and then I would almost get like one-shotted by really weak enemies. But the thing is, I figured that out, that, oh, this is to kind of push that whole run and gun style into a tactics game. And once I figured that out, the game really went a lot more smoothly for me. And that sort of run and gun style, if you will, is one of the major tactics of the game, not to mention syncing. So let's say you have an enemy between you and another ally and you attack them. Usually your ally will also attack them, just giving you that extra damage because your ally then can also have their own movement as well. I will say a lot of the characters have different attack ranges and the different attack types, so this really does open up the field for different tactics that you can try and use, really focusing on that sync attack. Now, there are other things about the game that I don't know, and I do think that I kind of fault it because of the tutorial and really just being kind of hard to read, if I'm being honest. Tie that in with a game that is actually really robust when it comes to weapon types, loadouts, mods, different abilities, passive and active. All of those things add just another layer of strategy and depth to the game, which I think is great. But I also half the time don't feel like I know fully what I'm doing. But it is one of those games that every time I play, I feel like I learned something new and I'm able to go a little bit further. And I believe that this is also why it's a roguelike and how it's a roguelike. It's not nearly as punishing as it could be, but without a doubt, it definitely does have elements of a roguelike. I know at this moment, I've given a lot of a mixed bag, really. There's some good things, there's a few negative things, but there are some real negative things that I just don't like or I can't wrap my head around. And one of the big ones for me is the performance. Oh, this is exclusively on the Switch, of course, and the game is very laggy. It bogs down a lot. I even had it crash on me a couple times. And when you do have a number of enemies on the screen, it just starts getting overwhelmed and the frame rates drop and like the game just starts lagging out. And there's really no good excuse for it. I mean, it's not like these characters are running around the screen or anything. Like they're staying in one place for the most part. Yeah, they do have that little animation that shows that they're alive, where they're kind of breathing labored or something. I don't know. Their shoulders are bouncing up and down, but they're not flying around the screen. So there's not really a good excuse for this. Now, the game is at 60 frames per second, and that could be just too much for the Switch. So I feel like you should probably just knock it down to 30 because it doesn't really need 60 anyway. It really doesn't. There's definitely arguments for why it would be better, but if it's gonna cause these many performance issues, just take it down to 30 and cap it there. The small text, all of these things seem to be just fundamental issues that really affect just how much fun you're having. My other issue, which is a small one, but is the fact that you can't attack an enemy if you have a gun when you're on a roof. For some reason that just doesn't work. And to me, I think that just, I don't know, kind of ruins something about it, a little bit of the strategy. But I don't know because if ultimately I'm just being too hard on it. I mean, when I look at the other aspects of this game, like the graphics for one, I think are fantastic. I mean, you're taking these iconic characters, and let's be real, Metal Slug is iconic. I don't even play the games, and I know who Marcos is, and they did a great job adapting them to this tactics game. I also have to say the music is phenomenal. I absolutely love some of the things that make it feel arcadey, like the very beginning of a match. Things like that, I think, really add up to a really fun experience. And even though I've been really harsh on the game, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's addictive. I've been playing it a lot. It seems like it's kind of my go-to game, and yet I know that I'm gonna have some major complaints with it, or I'm gonna be bothered by the performance or something like that is gonna just bother me. Ultimately, though, I don't know if I would recommend this game. Like, this gets a maybe pickup for me. Like, if you're on the fence, I would maybe wait for a sale. If you love the series, then you're gonna love this just because it is another chapter in the series. Now, if you love strategy games and you're looking for something different, something unique, then this is probably a good one for you. And I can't act like the price is like outrageous either. Like 24.99 for a game that really does have a lot to it. Like that's one thing that I'll definitely give it is there is a lot of content here. But I don't know. I'm really torn. I guess if I was gonna give it a score, like I said, this isn't an actual full review, but if I was, I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Like it's far better than it is bad, but some of the bad is just it's annoying. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on the game. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you guys played this one? I know it's been out for a while. I'm just late to getting through things. And also, if the audio sounds weird, I apologize because I had to like switch recording programs during this, and my daughter fell out of her bed and hit her head. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes on this one. Anyway, guys, I love you. I will be back very soon. I got another video I'm working on right now. But take care, everyone. Bye bye.